Less than 48 hours now before the federal government begins shutting down unless a short-term budget is passed.
That's right. Republicans and Democrats are locked now in a showdown over DACA, children's health insurance and military spending. And unless they compromise, all non-essential government offices, services and parks will shut down Saturday. KCAL9 political reporter Dave Bryan has those late details tonight. Dave?
All of that, and tonight at least one prominent member of the administration says it looks like the Republicans do have the votes to pass this temporary budget. Once again tonight, the Republican leadership on Capitol Hill is counting and recounting the votes on a possible temporary budget bill because for very different reasons, some conservative Republicans and some liberal Democrats say they won't vote for the funding bill. For the Dems, the issue remains DACA. Tonight, White House Chief of Staff John Kelly told Fox News the Republicans appear to have the votes they need to pass a short-term government funding bill by Friday.
It would seem that they have the votes to continue funding the military, take care of the child health care issue, and perhaps some other things. So, as I understand it, they have the votes, and they're fairly confident.
But with only a couple of days left before the deadline for passing the short-term bill, DACA has now been taken off the table in the latest proposal by House Republicans. The bill, that is the budget bill, would keep the government open through next month, and it would extend the children's health insurance program for 6 years.
I find it difficult to believe that my Democratic colleagues would want to shut down the government for American citizens and vote down a 6-year reauthorization of health insurance for American children, all over illegal immigration.
Kelly made his comments Wednesday during a meeting with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, telling them the president was misinformed about some immigration issues during the campaign and that he, Kelly, helped educate the president on immigration issues.
I told him that, there's been an evolutionary process that this president has gone through as a campaign, and I pointed out to all of the members that were in the room that they all say things during the course of campaigns that may or may not be fully informed. He's very definitely changed his attitude towards the DACA issue, and even the wall, once we briefed him.
Carson Congresswoman Nanette Diaz-Barragan attended the meeting.
And he had also spoken about the president's evolution on this issue since the campaign, and has taken a lot of credit for moving the president.
But despite the president's evolution on some immigration issues, and while the Republicans may now have the votes to pass the stopgap government funding bill this week, there was no mention of DACA or Dreamers being part of that funding bill.
I'm not going to support a bill that doesn't have a DACA component. The reality is that this is the only way we're going to get them to come to the table and be serious about this issue.
Protesters from across the country filled a Senate office rotunda Wednesday, demanding lawmakers protect DACA, the program that shields children who were brought to this country illegally by their parents from being deported. Dreamers like Karen from L.A.
They have all our information, our fingerprints, where we live. We've lived here all our lives, so we have no other place to go.
Republican leaders in Congress say they've been waiting for President Trump to give them some specifics on what he wants in a DACA bill.
I'm looking for something that President Trump supports, and he's not yet indicated what measure he's willing to sign. As soon as we figure out what he is for, then I would be convinced that we were not just spinning our wheels.
What point would it be to bring a bill through here that we won't have signed into law by the president?
San Bernardino Congressman Pete Aguilar, who also attended the Congressional Hispanic Caucus meeting, says he got tired of waiting and is now co-sponsoring a DACA bill, which he says has bipartisan support in the House.
4 months ago, the president made the decision to end DACA. We have had plenty of time for Chief of Staff Kelly, General Kelly, as well as members of the administration to work to craft a solution. In the absence of that leadership, we have gone ahead and introduced a bill that would do just that, offer certainty as well as offer reasonable border security measures.
Aguilar says 50 members of the House, 25 Democrats and 25 Republicans, are supporting the bill. Now, Congressman Aguilar acknowledges the chances of his DACA bill being passed by both houses in the next 48 hours are pretty slim. But he says if it turns out the Republicans don't have enough votes to pass the short-term government funding bill by Friday, and they need some Democrats to come on board, well, he says things could change pretty quickly on his DACA bill. We should know soon enough if they have the votes. Republican leaders expected to bring the bill to the floor for a vote tomorrow, Thursday. If they don't, all bets are off, Jeff.